Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Eric Winger. I'm the Public Works Director for Oklahoma City, so I'm going to do the updates for today. I'd like to tell you we have a lot of items today. I think last month we had 4, but today we just have a single item for your consideration, but it's a very important item, and so let me explain. So what you have before you today is item 3A, a recommendation to the council to approve a new project for the Skydance Bridge. It's a replacement deck project. We're wanting to use funds from both the 2000 and the 2007 bond proceeds. And so to give you a little bit of a history on this, this is a bridge I think everybody's familiar with. We all see this sometimes almost every night on the news. It's a bridge that connects the new Upper and Lower Park for the MAP 3 projects. So it connects the Scissor Tail, and it will connect across Interstate 40 at the Lower Park. And it's currently closed just due to the construction of the Scissor Tail Park. But one of the things that has come up is that this deck has started to deteriorate. And this is one of the photos that we've taken that's showing some of that damage. It's actually expanding each time it gets wet, and it's required that we actually remove pieces and sections of it on a more regular basis. And so we feel that before we get the new parks complete under the MAPS 3 program and opened, it would be in our best interest to go ahead and to proceed with that deck replacement. So this was a project that was actually built when the original Interstate 40 was relocated, and this pedestrian bridge was one of the mitigation items that was placed there. The entire bridge is not wooden, but the deck is, and the railings are. The substructure for the bridge is actually metal. And then, of course, you've got the iconic structure that's on the top of that, that's the decorative and the lit element that we so much familiarize ourselves with what you see on TV or some of the publicity. So this project, we're asking for $750,000 that's available in the bond fund. And with your recommendation to recommend that to the City Council that would remove this deck, we would look at possibly replacing it with a lightweight concrete type deck that would be a more durable and longer lasting product. It would not affect any other features of the bridge, so the iconic portions of the bridge would remain untouched, but it would put a deck that wouldn't require as much service, one that would, of course, be ready for all those users when the Scissor Tail officially opens and when we make that connection to the Lower Park. I can answer any questions that you might have.
Eric, can you remind us when that was built?
So I probably should have brought that year. What I can tell you is that I believe we opened it about 8 years ago. I don't have the exact date. I do know that the maintenance bond on this ran out in 2015. So for the last 3 years, we've not had a maintenance bond. But it's approximately 8 years that we've had it open since I've been director of Public Works.
So that was my question as well. It seems like it hasn't lasted very long. I don't know what the original cost of that deck was. And so you kind of answered the question as well, changing it to lightweight concrete. So the anticipated life of that particular product would be?
I would expect it to be decades. Most of the decks that we have, especially pedestrian, are of a concrete type. So we have a lot of those that have been in a high service level that are along the Oklahoma River for some time. Obviously, it would be a deck that would, I think it, again, from a product that's predominantly wood, and this is actually what they call a wood glue lam structure. It's a lot of smaller pieces of wood that are glued together to make larger ones. And you can actually see those here with the little strips that are in there. But we would have liked to have seen it last longer as well. But I think at this point, we're doing so much in maintenance, we feel that just the replacement's probably in the city's best interest, just to ensure that it's open for the long term. This photo does not really show what's happening here, so as you look out towards, and what you see in the background is the construction of the Scissor Tail Park, this deck is actually popping up. It's not just cracking, as you see there. It's hard to take a photo of this, but it's actually popped up to where you're seeing it up about a foot. So as that deck gets too long for its ends, it literally is buckling like you would just a hardwood floor in your home. And so it's required that we pull those sections out and we trim them and we replace them. It's how we've kept it open at this point.
Eric, could you also remind us, was this built with GO bond money maybe 2000 or even before?
So it was originally a 2007 bond program.
2007.
Yep, and so it was actually, portions of it were also part of the I-40 project. So there was some funding that the ODOT had participated on as well.
What proposition? When we originally approved, when it was originally paid for?
I believe it's Proposition 2, Section A.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any other questions or comments before we vote? All those approving, aye? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to just go over the GEO bond executive summary. For the month of June, we had $8.9 million in bond expenditures. That's for the full bond program. And for fiscal year 2018, we had $16.6 million in expenditures for the bond program. And our fiscal year runs from July through June 30th, so this is the final number for the fiscal year. You can see there that we had a sale for the 2017 bond and some of the 27 bond in the sale year 2018. So that has been added on in that box number 2 that kind of summarizes the 85% rule for the IRS that we spend within a 3-year period. So that is added on, and we're starting that process. You can see there that we're at 36% for the sale year that's going to be have a spend down deadline of 2019 to May of next year. So then box 3 is just a graphical representation of those numbers as well, to show that we're moving along progress, and where we were at this time last year in June of 2017 for the 3 current bond years was at 44%, 9%, and 0. So we're in target a little bit back, but still in target to keep going on our normal phases. That's all.
Thank you. Yes. Is there any new business? Any items from committee members?
Sorry, I would like to take a minute to introduce Daniel Dorgan. He's one of the newest members in our office, in the budget office, and he will be assisting, helping me with the BAC and getting things ready. If you have any questions, you can contact him or me in the office.
Okay. Thank you. Citizens to be heard. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Those approving? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much, and thank you for coming out in this heat. I noticed that we're the privileged people here. We're not.